Hello, I'm Stephanie, and for my capstone project, I used Claude to create a simple welding estimation tool. I know a welding estimator may not sound like something that is grounded in one of the course topics, but working on this gave me a chance to create a tool that would be used immediately, and it also allowed me to gain some perspective from working with a small business that had not considered AI as an option before. A parts manufacturing shop needed a way to support their co-op students with creating welding estimates without repeatedly interrupting their welder throughout the day. And the shop has not been tracking welding estimates separately, and they don't have a specific estimation method, so they don't have data or methodology to build ranges for standardization. I worked with them to use Claude to build a widget based on industry standard benchmarks, and we refined it through prompts, and we tested it with real jobs over a 2-week period. We ended up with a few outputs. First, a widget in a Claude conversation. Next, we built a project so we could lock down system instructions. And next, due to reasons I'll get to in a minute, we concluded with an Excel version and an HTML. Just showing you the HTML and the output. And the output includes explaining how it got there. What's the basis of the estimate? Initially, the organization assumed two things. First, that they would use the estimator in Claude to have the benefit of the additional back and forth conversations. And second, that they did not need to think too deeply about how they wanted AI to show up in their organization at this point in time. But as we developed a tool, a lot of concerns came up for them. The first concern that came up for them was the risk of co-op students entering client identifying information into Claude, regardless of the privacy settings. Next concern was the potential for prompt tangents. They didn't want to create a situation that would result in their co-op students losing focus in a super busy, hectic environment. Next concern was the risk of Claude giving inconsistent answers. Sometimes Claude would change its methodology, or it would multiply instead of divide, and it wouldn't recognize its own mistake, and we'd have to prove to it that it made a mistake. This reduced the trust that Claude would give consistent answers over time. To address that, we decided to move it to a project where we could have strict system instructions that would be used every time you prompt. But the problem with that was the water usage. So once we move this into a project and you're running the prompt every time, you're using more data center than your own computer. And that, of course, means energy impacts, water impacts. According to Claude, each prompt was about 1 liter of water per estimate. This organization uses a ton of water in what they produce, but there was no reason to actually add to that by using an AI agent for an estimate. In the end, the HTML and Excel versions made a lot more sense for their use case, and continuing to use Claude for estimates would be an unnecessary use of AI. This project did open their eyes to how useful AI can be, and also why it's important to define how you want to use it and how you want it to show up in your organization. And this has led to some follow-on work. We are exploring AI guidelines for their organization, and we're looking at the potential of using Copilot when working with small customers who need help realizing their design ideas. So all in all, it was a pretty good exercise.